Cup of English podcast for Paul and Lily.
I have a theory. The way you start your morning is the way you live your life. And I start every morning with a perfect cup of tea, which means my life is warm, reliable, and slightly better than everyone else's.
Welcome, everyone, to A Cup of English podcast. I'm Lily.
And I'm Paul. And Lily starts every morning with a 5-kilometer run and a green smoothie, which means her life is exhausting and tastes like a garden.
It tastes great, actually. Today we are talking about morning routines, specifically how your morning routine can help you improve your English. Because the best time to practice English is actually first thing in the morning. And we are going to tell you exactly how. Let's go!
Right. First things first. Why is the morning the best time to learn English? Because your brain is fresh. You haven't used it all day yet. You haven't made 100 decisions, answered 100 messages, thought 100 thoughts. In the morning, your brain is ready.
Scientists actually call this a peak learning time. Your brain absorbs new information faster in the morning than at any other time of day.
So, what can you do in the morning to practice English? First tip, and this is so simple, listen to English while you get ready.
This is exactly what I do. Every morning while I'm getting ready, doing my hair, making breakfast, I have an English podcast playing. I'm not sitting down studying. I'm just living my morning, and English is happening in the background.
And this is called passive listening. Passive means you are not working hard. You are not concentrating completely. You are just absorbing, like a sponge.
And over time, passive listening builds your ear for English. You start to recognize words faster, understand accents better, pick up natural phrases without even trying.
Much like what is happening right now as you listen to this episode.
Exactly. You are improving your English right now just by listening to us argue about smoothies.
I wasn't arguing. I was making a very valid point about gardens and glasses.
Okay, useful phrases. A morning routine. The regular things you do every morning. My morning routine takes 45 minutes. To absorb. To take in information naturally without forcing it. I absorb so much English just by listening every day. And passive listening. Listening without concentrating completely, as background. I do passive listening while I make breakfast. Second tip, talk to yourself in English in the morning. We talked about this in our Think in English episode, but mornings are especially good for this.
Because in the morning, you are doing simple physical things, making tea, getting dressed, eating breakfast. And these simple things are easy to describe in English. I am making tea. The kettle is boiling. Today is Tuesday.
It sounds silly, but it works. And I have a story about this. I started doing this, narrating my morning in English, and one day my roommate walked into the kitchen while I was making coffee, and I was saying out loud, "Now I open the fridge. I take the milk. The milk is cold."
Like a documentary about your own kitchen.
Exactly like a documentary. And my roommate stood in the doorway staring at me. And I turned around and she was just looking at me, very concerned, very still, like she had found a strange animal in the kitchen.
What did you say?
I said, "I'm practicing English." And she said, "You are English." And I said, "I'm practicing being more fluent." And she stood there for another moment and then just made her coffee in silence and left.
She decided not to engage with the situation.
She decided it was safer not to ask questions. But the technique works. Your morning is full of simple actions, perfect for describing in English.
I do this with my tea. I narrate the whole process in my head. The kettle boils. I pour the water. I wait 3 minutes. Perfect.
The tea documentary.
The tea documentary. Very niche, but very useful. Okay, vocabulary. To narrate. To describe what is happening, like a story. I narrate my morning in English. Out loud. Using your real voice, not just in your head. Say it out loud. It helps much more. And a habit. Something you do every day without thinking. Make English a morning habit. Third tip. Read something in English with your morning coffee or tea. Even 5 minutes, even one short article, even just the news headlines.
Headlines. Perfect for beginners. A headline is just one sentence. Short, simple, clear. You don't need to read the whole article, just the headline. 5 headlines every morning is a wonderful habit.
I have been doing this for years. Every morning with my tea, I read the news in English. And it does 2 things. It teaches me new vocabulary, and it gives me things to talk about during the day.
Oh, this is so true. When you read in English in the morning, you have things to say in English later. The words are already in your head.
I have a reading story. When I first started reading the news every morning, I was very ambitious. I thought, I will read 3 full articles every morning. Very thorough, very intellectual.
How long did that last?
3 days. On day 4, I woke up, made my tea, sat down, opened the news, and fell asleep reading the first article.
You fell asleep.
Sitting upright with my tea in my hand, I woke up 20 minutes later with cold tea and no memory of anything I had read.
Cold tea! That is the most tragic thing you have ever said.
It was devastating. Cold tea and 0 knowledge. And I learned, 5 minutes of reading is better than 30 minutes of sleeping while reading.
Start small. 5 minutes. That is the lesson. Okay, reading vocabulary. A headline, the title of a news article, usually one short sentence. I read 5 headlines every morning. To skim, to read something quickly, just the main points, not every word. I skim the news in the morning. And vocabulary in context, learning new words by seeing them in a real sentence, not just a dictionary. Reading gives you vocabulary in context. Okay, last tip, and this is my favorite. Every morning, write 3 sentences in English, just 3, in a notebook, on your phone, anywhere, about your day, your plans, how you feel.
3 sentences, that is all. It takes 2 minutes, but it wakes up your English brain before your day starts.
I did this for 6 months, and the difference was incredible. Not just in my writing, in my speaking too. Because when you write in English every morning, your brain starts to organize thoughts in English. And then when you speak, those organized thoughts come out faster.
And you don't need a perfect sentence. Today I feel tired. I have a meeting at 10. I hope it is short. That is 3 sentences. That is enough.
I have a notebook story. I started my 3 sentences notebook and I was very consistent. Every single morning, 3 sentences. And after about 2 months, I went back and read from the beginning. And my first entry said, "Today is Monday. I am tired. The coffee is good."
Very deep.
3 months later, I was writing, "I've been thinking about how morning habits shape the entire day and whether our routines reflect our deeper values."
From the coffee is good to existential philosophy in 3 months.
English did that. 3 sentences every morning. You start with, the coffee is good, and you end up questioning the meaning of life.
That is actually a wonderful advertisement for morning English practice.
Right. Notebook vocabulary. A journal. A notebook where you write your thoughts every day. I keep an English journal. To improve. To get better at something over time. My English improved so much from writing every morning. And consistent. Doing something regularly, every day, without stopping. The key is to be consistent, every morning, even when you don't feel like it.
Right. So, your morning English routine. Listen to English while you get ready. Talk to yourself. Narrate your morning like a documentary nobody asked for. Read 5 headlines with your coffee. Write 3 sentences in English before your day starts.
4 simple things. You don't need to do all of them at once. Start with 1, just 1, and add more when you are ready.
And the beautiful thing is, your English improves before your day even really begins. By 9 a.m., you have already practiced listening, speaking, reading, and writing in your pajamas with a cup of tea.
The most efficient English lesson in history.
Your challenge today: pick one of these tips and try it tomorrow morning, just one. And tell us in the comments which one you chose. We want to know.
And subscribe to A Cup of English podcast, free, new episodes every week. We are so happy you are here.
Cheerio, everyone.
Bye, guys.